What's up, guys? Welcome to the third match here with Blue Black Pirates. We won the die roll, and yes, we'd like to play first. Um, it's a decent opener. Um, yeah, the mana base is really the trickiest part about this deck. I mean, yeah, we'll have black, double black, double blue by turn two, but it's almost like a tempo deck really wants to be casting its one and two drops, right? Um, so I wonder if like shifting this to a Grixis build would be better because then we get access to fast lands and things of that nature. Um, so I see turn one island. I want to get down Glint Sleeve before any removal, before any counter spells. Opt could mean multiple things. We'll see. Could be red. Could be blue red. Probably the most common, but it could still be blue white. Either hub, huh? What deck uses Aether Hub and Opt right now? I mean, like I said, the metagame is pretty. Okay, Attune. Green deck. Green deck's going to be a good matchup, so I don't mind seeing that at all. Ooh, Chart the Course is great. Great draw. And then if we hit another land, we can keep up push or Opt. Except we don't hit another land. So, oh, deck. It's like a Rogue Refiner here. Yeah. Alright. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Alright, so that's a land. The land is the most important thing. And now we can play a pirate, and we can keep up both Opt, Fatal Push, and Lookout's Dispersal. Alright. And triple Hostage Taker, or Hostage Taker against a green deck should ideally be pretty good. Yeah, for a second I was like, oh god, did I make a mistake? No, it has Menace. It's an illegal block, so Magic Online will not let our opponent do that. Okay, I imagine we're getting smacked for 3 here. Yep. So basically we want to hit lands so that we can actually cast our Hostage Takers. I imagine there's red in here. It could be straight blue-green. So we could counter this. If they have something like Censor, yeah, that's fine. If they have Censor, then at least I can Fatal Push freely next turn. Because what I'm afraid is that I let this resolve and they have like Blossoming Defense. Chart, of course. Sure. I guess. Alright, well. I think there's a good chance I'm using all my mana this turn, so I'm going to go ahead and attack with the Deadeye. And try to hit a land here with Opt. Alternatively, we could chart a course. Oh my god. This is insane. We have seen so much of our deck and we have not found a fourth land. We might get punished this turn because we didn't keep up our counters. Our hope is that they just play like a Long Tusk Cub here, you know? Okay. This is like that blue-green tempo build. So I think it's going to be similar to our match 1, except they may not be playing red. Lands. Alright. Let's go ahead and start here. We'll counter that. Return target creature to its owner's hand. They could have targeted their own creature, I believe, right? I mean, yeah, that's fine. Definitely annoying, but it's fine. At least we get rid of the Deep Root champion here. And I guess I could also Fatal Push the Rogue Refiner right now, but I'm not really too interested in doing that. Maybe I am. Because at least if they play another threat, I have all these hostage takers for it. So I guess if I was going to... I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if that is necessarily correct, but I just want to use my mana and not like die to too many creatures here. Yep, another Rogue Refiner, sure. They put a card on top. Okay. Okay, Blooming Marsh. So they are the bug list. So now we have two options. I think ideally we just and this Deadeye tracker is straight horrible. What this will allow us to do is next turn we can play the Longtusk Cub. There's absolutely no way I'm attacking with blocking Rogue Refiner here. They could unsummon it, right? Or what was that? What? Oh, they charted the course? Okay. Yeah, chart a course. So they drew 2 cards. Opt. Let's see how they scry. They put a card on the bottom and they drew. So they drew a blind card. Did they find a way to kill Hostage Taker? I'm not sure they really have a way to deal with Hostage Taker game 1. At least not an efficient way. Alright, there's another land. So before any shenanigans happen, let's go ahead and cast this Longtusk Cub. Yeah, Fatal Push the Cub. I mean, that's your cup, so you know what? That's fine with me. Alright, I'm going to chart a course, and I really want to hit a land drop. Can I do it? Oh my god, deck, why are you like this, basically? That's what I'm saying. Alright, well, Hostage Taker is probably insane in this matchup, so I'll keep it on top. And our opponent concedes, so I guess it's just hard to keep up with all of that, but for this matchup, I like to bring in Gifted Aetherborn, Doomfall, Gonti. I think because we're both tempo decks, I don't think countering their spells is where we want to be. I think Kite Sail is decent because they do rely a fair amount on that kind of... well, we can definitely cut the Deadeye trackers. 100%. With all these 2-drops, maybe we can cut one Kite Sail. Like I said, I'm worried about the mana base actually casting these Gifted Aetherborns, but we'll see how that goes. The Kite Sails are just the best way to block on the ground. I mean, the Kite Sails, the Gifted Aetherborns, they're just going to be a really good way to block on the ground against this deck that's trying to pump their champions and their Longtusk Cubs. Yeah, it's a hand, right? Sure. So start out with the Tune. I'm kind of leading because I already have 4 lands in hand. I kind of want to just play Swamp. And leave the Fetid Pools to be cycled. This also means my opponent may play around Fatal Push, not lead on their 2-drop, excuse me. Kind of a bit of mind games, but I think it's still correct to eventually want to cycle this because we already have 4 lands. Alright, so they go for their Cub. Another Aetherborn, not bad. Things might get a little tricky here if our opponent goes like unsummon, chart a course, and then they're still on par cards wise, and then they just have the better tempo. Or they could just fatal push my Gifted Aetherborn. That could probably happen too. Yep. There goes the Aetherborn. They get in with their Cub or Tune. So now Cub's gonna get pretty big. Gonna smack us for 4 here. Sure. I think we have to ask ourselves, do they have another Fatal Push? They might. I still think it's correct to run out this other Gifted Aetherborn here. They could have a lot of combat tricks. They could have unsummons and things like that, but at least we get to replay Gifted Aetherborn eventually. If it's just an unsummon, Fatal Push would be brutal. Like Fatal Push into Rogue Refiner would be rather insane here. Okay, so just Rogue Refiner, on the other hand, is manageable. Ooh, they're attacking? Yeah, if they want to trade, I'll trade. Double Siphoner, huh? Yep. Double Siphoner it is. So now I feel pretty happy about keeping the pools in hand, especially considering we've drawn a lot of lands since then. I guess it's not a lot of lands. I guess we only drew 1 land, right? I think so. Yeah, Kite Sail. See, this is why I think this card is a little it's just not quite as good as you would want it to be. All right, so there's the Deep Root Champion. It's great when you have these kind of threats you want to protect, but overall, it can be a little lackluster. Chart a Course, not bad. So I think this turn we just get aggressive. If our opponent wants to block, they can block. We can make some trades. But one of them is surviving, and one of them will be drawing us another card next turn. All right. I imagine that, yep, we see this trade here. Yep, that order is good. Get the 3-power creature off the board rather than the 1-power creature. And here, I think we'll go Ruin Raider. I guess I should have let on Chart the Course, right? But I guess it doesn't matter. Nice. So now we got cards for days. We're ahead on cards from our opponent. We got more cards on the way with Glint Sleeve. The issue is here we haven't drawn any removal. So that's the issue. This Deep Root Champion may get out of control sooner rather than later, which may be an issue. Driven. Ooh, that's pretty good. Yeah, so they gain Menace, and now I'm about to discard like my whole hand here. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, so I can't block. So 1, 2. Oh, it's when this creature deals damage. It's not equal to the amount of damage it dealt. Okay. All right. And they also get to draw a bunch of cards, which is not good. So we want to find an answer this turn to this Deep Root Champion, especially when they're tapped out. So let's Chart a Course for removal. Let's Chart a Course. So I think I want to play this first. Chart a Course for removal. No removal, so we play this blocker here. That may prove annoying to our opponent. Alright, well. We might be dead. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find the removal, not in the form of a hostage taker or a fatal push. So if our opponent just pushes this, yeah, oof, that's not good. We take 5, 6. Blossoming defense is 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Yep. You got it. Did not find removal, unfortunately. I still think our configuration is correct, though. Like, go heavy on the 2 drops. Just play the tempo game. We drew a lot of lands there, and that can happen. Which is why we have opts and chart the course to kind of filter through our deck, but it's alright. It's alright. Again, this goes back to the idea that I think we need more removal in the main deck. I think we're drawing a lot of cards, sure, but we're not really dealing with what our opponent is up to. So, you know. So here I'll go opt end of my opponent's turn. Again, this fetid pools will likely get cycled. Sure. I'll go ahead and just opt in response so I can F6. Yeah. What are the chances there's 3 lands sitting on top of our deck? What are the chances? Oh, God. This is the kind of, like, this is why I, like, kind of didn't want to keep the hand. Because I was like, okay, we've already got 5 lands. So, like, even one more land draw is just such a feel bad. Make that. This is. Well, Kite Sail maybe clears the way for Hostage Taker to steal something. Maybe. So I guess we take opt. Doesn't feel too great though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so our opponent has a hostage taker of their own, which is quite annoying. Because it means that if they get one more land, could be in a tricky spot. I definitely think Mana Flood loses to Mana Screw. You know, for our opponent, eventually our opponent's going to draw lands, and we can't say the same thing about our threat density. We have plenty of lands, sure. If we draw a threat, that would be great. If our opponent's going to keep up Storm Tamer here, then all right, they do not. Another Cub. Okay. Oof. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just flood, right? There's no real explaining this. If our opponent, I think our life total is more important. Although if our opponent goes land, hostage taker, or hostage taker, I think we're dead. Yeah, there's no favorable trade here. We'll take the damage. Yeah. No land? No land. All right. Chart a course? Chart a course. Which probably finds them a land. Maybe. Or maybe they're really having the complete opposite game as me. So, that's not a bad draw. It stops Hostage Taker's ability. I'll go ahead and play it, though. Okay. I guess I could have smacked in there with the Kite Sail, but I like keeping the Storm Tamer back. So here, probably what I want to do is go Hostage Taker plus Long Tusk to block their Long Tusk. And that way they can only kill one of them. Ooh, what is this? They're probably trying to just cast Hostage Taker here. Yeah. You may target something. I'm gonna counter that. If our opponent attacks with Long Tusk, I would really like that, actually. I say that now, but they probably have Blossoming Defense, and we're just going to get blown out here. But I don't think we're winning the game in any future turns if we don't make this trade. Yeah, the fact that there's a pause here. Oh no, maybe they spent energy unnecessarily. I guess that's all that happened. Attune. Alright. I would have saved that Attune, honestly, considering they have a Deep Root champion in hand. Ooh. Chart of Course is fantastic here. Here's where I'll attack with my Kite Sailor. That's the one thing Kite Sail is good for. Getting damage in there. Ooh. Those are all great draws. I'm going to play my Ruin Raider just to draw some more cards. Because when I play Hostage Taker, ooh, do I want to use that now? Yeah, I think I want to use that now. Just avoid like Blossoming Defense or something like that. So they're going to play their Forest most likely. There's Forest. We know they have Deep Root Champion in hand. Let's see. Another Deep Root Champion. So this is why I probably would have saved that Blossoming Defense for a situation exactly like this. And sweet, they don't attack with Hostage Taker, which is great for us. And here I think we'll first start off with an attack. So if we want to get greedy, we could Hostage Taker their Hostage Taker. I don't really want to do that. I kind of just want to get rid of one of these Deep Root Champions to mitigate any potential, life loss down the road. And then I get my raid trigger still. Sweet, and then I can even opt end of turn, which will grow the Deep Root Champion, which is kind of cool. Stormcaller, sure. I'm glad they didn't draw that last turn, because then that would have made the Hostage Taker play much worse. Alright. Let's go ahead and opt. Let's always yield to those triggers. No, thank you. Alright, Chart of Course is great. In fact, I'm just going to do that pre-combat. You know what? We have so many lands in hand that they're not going to be relevant at all. And now, we're in a pretty good position. I think I'm pretty ooh. I should have opted before damage. Gifted Aetherborn, Ruin Raider, great, another Gifted Aetherborn. Yeah, I have a hard time imagining us or a situation where we would lose this game. Kite Sail. I guess that's fine. I mean, they get opt, sure. What does that really do for him, though, right? It's just digging. Let's see if they go top or bottom. And if it's not clear, the reason why I want to see if they go top or bottom, which means if they top, they're drawing a card that they want, and if they bottom, there's a good chance that the card that's under the card that they bottomed is not good either. So it kind of just gives you a sense of, okay, is my opponent digging or has my opponent found the answer? Just to make that a little clearer if you guys were not sure. So I imagine this Storm Tamer is probably getting in there. No Storm Tamer in there. All right. So there's our Deep Root Champion growing a little bit. I don't think we need Siphoner at this point. Well, I guess I would have taken it over a land. I definitely would have taken it over double land. Wow, they're just taking the damage here? That can't possibly be correct, can it? Another Aetherborn gives us good blockers. Charter Course. I mean, not bad. It would have been nice to draw that last, like, this turn. I imagine Fatal Push targeting the untapped Aetherborn. Okay. This means that trading for this Deep Root Champion is going to be difficult this turn, basically. Another Fatal Push? Ooh, Kite Sail. Okay, that gets my chart, of course, which is pretty good. So this Deep Root Champion is really the only thing holding my opponent's board state together. Not to say that my board state is particularly better, but we're drawing more cards because of Ruin Raider, and we have this source of life gain also, which is pretty nice. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, geez. That's actually great for them. Because they get to draw at least 3 cards here. Okay, so the question is, do we want to go all-in block on the Deep Root Champion? If we do, we take only 3 damage, and then one of these still survives to force lethal next turn. Alternatively, we could go double block. Here we go. We could go double block here and take 7. Wait. What am I saying? We could literally take all. Can't we? Do they have to be blocked? Draw a card until in turn when you control menace, that player discards a card. Okay. So let's say I want to block their hostage taker. One of them dies, and then I'll still have 2. Well, they block here, and they don't die. Here I take 6, 7, 8, 9. I go to 1. Right? I'm doing that math right? I think they're dead on board next turn. And again, these are just 2 lands in hand, so. And they don't have, yeah. And now I can just go a lethal attack here. Yep. We won that race, OP. We won that race. That was pretty close, though. I got kind of scared there for a second. But there we go. Then we beat Bug Tempo. All right. So thanks, guys, for watching this third match here. And stay tuned for some closing statements coming up real soon. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking around for the closing statements here. So let's talk Pirates. I think there were a lot of good things about the deck, and there were a lot of bad things too. So let's go ahead and start with the bad things. For those of you that are interested in this deck that might pick it up, down the road in paper or online or whatever it may be. In my opinion, I think Deadeye Tracker, completely bad card. Just absolutely does not carry its own weight in, frankly, any matchup, whether it's control, mid-range, or aggro. I mean, if this card was like a 2-1, I think it would be very playable. As a 1-1, it's very weak. Very, very weak. And it's not what I want to be doing on turn 1 at all. So moving forward, definitely cut a Deadeye Tracker. Also, I probably would cut a land down the road if I was to keep 4 opts. At the same time, I'm not sure the deck needs 4 opts. I think like it can go with like 2. You know, it's kind of like this card. Okay, if I see it in the beginning, it can smooth my curve. If I see it late game, it can filter my draws. But the fact is, we have Chart a Course, and I think having too many draw spells in a tempo deck makes us draw too much air in certain situations. Like we want to draw real, actual cards that impact the board or interact with our opponents or one thing or the other. So moving forward, I don't think you need 4 Opt and 4 Chart a Course. In fact, I think Chart a Course is the better card, and I think Opt can definitely move to the side. Move to the side as in not be played. I don't think this deck needs Opt whatsoever. With that said, if you cut Opt, I'd probably play 24 lands. So just that trade-off there, like 24 lands, a small curve here, and then supplement that with like 3 more actual spells. Like Walk the Plank is something I really am considering. We want... we want cards that interact with our opponent, right? So more removal to make use of all the cards that we're drawing with Chart a Course and Ruin Raider, I think would go a long, long way. In that sense, I don't think we need 4 Lookouts Dispersal. I think it's like more of a tempo card, so we're not really looking to control the game, and having a hand loaded with these while not having any action can be a great way to lose the game. So I think cutting down to 2 or 3 Lookouts Dispersal is probably correct. What to supplement that with, I'm not sure. I even think 2 Kite Sail is the correct amount. 3 seems like a little too much. It's kind of just this card like, okay, let me trip up my opponent on turn 2 while having a body to fuel my Chart a Course or Ruin Raider on turn 3. But overall, it's not a particularly strong body, and it's not a particularly evasive card outside of flying, so it doesn't get trample, it doesn't get menace, so it really just deals 1 damage in the air while fueling these other parts of the deck, and I don't think that's quite powerful enough. So moving forward, I would probably change this 2-drop slot a bit, this Kite Sail. So overall, though, what I loved about the deck, I think once we get to like 6-7 mana and we have a Hostage Taker and we're playing against another creature deck, it feels absolutely impossible to lose. Especially if we have an unanswered Ruin Raider. It's just we're drawing so many more cards than our opponent, and we're also being aggressive, to actually draw those cards. So it's not quite Dark Confidant really, but for Standard it might as well be. So I think Ruin Raider, Chart a Course are 2 of the most powerful cards in the deck. And kind of building around making sure that you can use them efficiently, I think is the way to win, and is the way to optimize this blue-black build. Overall, I actually really enjoy playing the deck. I mean, we were able to beat both of the tempo matches. So the the Teamer tempo and the Sultai tempo. Those were both not easy matchups in the sense that they have a lot of cheap threats and they have a lot of interaction too. So it's a very back and forth. And I think your Standard is going to see a lot more of those kinds of decks in the future. At least until the meta shakes out. I think it's kind of like a go-to kind of deck. A few streamers were playing around with it, so I definitely think it's an idea that might be going somewhere. For the Standard format. Okay, and then we were able to beat Green-Black Constrictor, which is a deck that I think survived rotation pretty well, and it plays a lot of powerful cards. So the fact that we were able to keep up with what they were doing was pretty awesome. And I think the fact that Hostage Taker is so good in those creature-on-creature matchups. Obviously, they're pretty bad in the control matchups, but that's why it's kind of our only 4-drop and it's our only top end. If the format gets very control-y, obviously the build would look a little different, but overall, I think Hostage Taker and Ruin Raider and Charter Course, 3 best cards in the deck. And you're kind of just building around them after that. But yeah, that's what I think about Blue Black Pirates. The sideboard, yeah, maybe a couple more duresses. Maybe not as many counter spells here because we already have Lookout Dispersal. So maybe we don't need these negates. Maybe like two spell pierce in the sideboard, and that's it. Of course, it depends on the future configuration, but I really enjoyed Blue Black Pirates. I think it's a pretty good archetype. I think it can keep up with Temur Energy pretty well. I think it can keep up with all the other mid-rangey decks like green black, things like that. I think it just struggles against control, and I think the best way to beat control is to land an early turn 2 Glintleaf Siphoner and kind of ride it to victory. But blue-red control is obviously the nightmare matchup, right? They have all this efficient, cheap removal. And even though they don't have board sweepers, they usually don't need it. So you kind of have to squeeze out card advantage as best as you can. But yeah, overall, that's what I think about Blue Black Pirates. Let me know in the comments what you think about Blue Black Pirates or Standard in general. Because I have access to a decent subscription on Mana Traders, I'll be able to pick up almost any Standard deck out there right now. So if you want to see a certain Standard archetype, let me know. And we'll be getting a bit more diversity for my Modern videos soon once the subscription, we get the next subscription level. So I definitely want to pick up some Liliana the Veils and try some sort of blue-black base deck off of Liliana the Veil. Especially with these new Planeswalker rules out, maybe with some Liliana the Last Hope in there too. I don't know, but I'm definitely excited to have more options and I think more variety on my channel. So hopefully you enjoy that when it's coming up. All right, so thanks so much for watching. If you got this far, and I'll see you guys hopefully in less than a week. See you soon.